Good afternoon, Stanley County, North Carolina. And if you're from somewhere else and you're watching this, I don't know why, because it's going to be long. And if you're not from either Stanley County or North Carolina, you will absolutely find this boring. So you should leave now and hit next. And I'm sure there's something funny on your YouTube feed that you could be watching. If you choose to stay, my name is Tommy Jordan. I am a Stanley County Commissioner. And I am doing this video, I'm not sure if the word is to rebut Gaston County Commissioner Tracy Philbeck, or I'm not even really sure how to title this video. When the time comes and I got to put a title on YouTube for what I'm going to call this, I'm not sure I've got polite words that I can use yet. I'll come up with something. Here's what's happened. I feel like a news anchor. Here's what's happened. Today, Gaston County, North Carolina, posted on their website that they are going to open Gaston County up. Now, of course, you know, North Carolina is still under stay-at-home orders, state of emergency, blah, 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 blah. And Gaston County said, don't worry, we're going to open the county up. So immediately, my phone, Commissioner Swain's phone, and the rest of the commissioners, our county manager, Andy, my Facebook wall, my commissioner's Facebook wall, and our email inboxes all started getting communications from local people in Stanley County going, hey, Gaston County is leading the charge on how to open the county up. Why aren't we following? Or I hope we do follow. Or I hope you do your job and follow them. So I made one video prior to this, and then I thought, well, Gaston County is going to do a live town hall on Facebook at 4 o'clock Eastern this afternoon. I'll wait and see how that goes. That was an hour and 30 minutes long of my life I'm never getting back. But I watched the entire thing, and God knows I hope you did, but I'm assuming you probably didn't. So I'm going to tell you why what Gaston County did was the single most ignorant, dumbass thing I've seen a county government do since this entire pandemic started. And I mean no disrespect, but it's going to sound like I did. And some of the things I'm going to say are probably just going to be disrespectful. I don't mean them that way, but truth hurts. I don't know Chairman Tracy Philbeck. He doesn't know me. We've never spoken. To my knowledge, we've never even been in the same room. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. I will start with the following. He does have his heart in the right place. Don't know where in the hell his head is, but his heart's in the right place. So I just watched an hour and a half of how not to do a live video. My God, I've done some rough takes, but woo, boy, that was nasty. It was just plain bad. So I'm just going to walk you through what he said, highlights what's wrong with it, why maybe it's not accurate, and why the entire idea that Gaston County has floated is both stupid, too irresponsible, and has caused nothing but confusion. So, in fact, he was quoted today, and he said, if a reporter reports that we're confusing, now this is a direct quote, I swear to God, his words, if a reporter reports that we're confusing, that's absolutely fake news. The fact that I got to do a video to explain what you tried to explain should mean it's confusing. So Gaston County wrote this order, and it's called the Gaston County Promise, and it's coming from the Gaston County Board of Commissioners saying, hey, we say, and I mean we, the Gaston County Board of Commissioners, say it's okay for you to open up. Then, shortly, I feel like if this were a TV show, here's a part where it's faded black, and then there's like the cartoon text. But meanwhile, back at the Batcave, this happens. So later, this document appears on their website. A document which now, by the way, is not currently working because I tried to pull it up later and couldn't find it. Thankfully, thank God, nothing is truly ever gone if it's on the net. I found it from another editor person that had posted it. So after they wrote this thing saying, Gaston County's open and you can open your businesses and we fully support you, they posted this, and I'll read one tiny paragraph. As soon as I find my glasses, y'all don't usually see me with these, but it's tiny text, so shut up. All right. Now, therefore, be it ordered that Gaston County is poised to reopen for business. This order is to ensure that the people of Gaston County know that Gaston County plans to reopen for business once state-level restrictions found in governor's executive orders are relaxed and otherwise lifted. As soon as the state-level restrictions are relaxed or rescinded, Gaston County shall use the guidelines established by the White House Coronavirus Task Force in reopening the county for business. Wait a minute. You just did this big live thing saying, we're open. You should all go to work. And then you said, I'll quote you, as soon as the state level restrictions are relaxed or rescinded, you can go to work. So you can imagine the sheer amount of cluster blankerism that went on Commissioner Philbeck's Facebook page when he did this live town hall. 1,500 comments. That's good even for my following, dude. Not bad. So he commented, he said, well, the order, the thing I just read, that's a legal document. That is a legal document, and of course it has all the whereas, and then he said, but the other thing is not a legal document. The resolution that we drafted, it's not legal. We can't enforce that. His words, not mine. That's kind of correct. His resolution that I just quoted you, that is a legal document. Just doesn't do anything. I mean, it's literally not worth the paper it was printed on. It means nothing. Nothing in government changed before it was published. Nothing in government changed after it was published. It literally means zero. So yes, congratulations. You've written a legal document that's not worth squat. Your other document, the one that people are responding to going, yay, you're going to open this up. You just said it's not a legal document. So the one thing that you said you wanted people to do isn't legal, but the thing that you're using it to back it up with is legal, but doesn't mean anything. Are y'all confused yet? Because don't forget, he said, if a reporter reports that we're confusing, that's fake news. Holy shit. So he says, oh yeah, okay. So, and I literally had to take notes as this thing went on. This is not going to be edited. This is not going to be a short video probably. I'm literally going through this topic by topic because I couldn't even begin to address this stuff otherwise. But our email is already starting to blow up again. My Facebook wall is blowing up. I want to get this out there so we've answered these questions. A big question. Barbershops and salons in Gaston County. Where's that barbershop, by the way? He even says, he's like, I know for a fact there's a barbershop here in the county that has called the governor and has filed the paperwork with the governor and got an exception as an essential business. But you'd have to ask Commissioner Brown who that is. Oh my God. One, even if it were true, which I'm sure it's probably not, there's not a barbershop in this state that's legally open. How I know that? Because there's an executive order that says barbershops are closed. But even if it were true, on the slim chance one of them had gotten approved, you just threw him under the bus. Why would you do that? I don't know who Commissioner Brown is, but I bet he's not your friend right now. Holy crap. So, to be clear, barbershops and hair salons are governed by the state board. Not even the governor. An actual board, I forget the name of the board, it's not a cosmetic board, but it's something like that. There is a board that it's just like my wife's a veterinarian. They are governed by the North Carolina Veterinary Board. That board decides what they can and can't do, and it gives them a license and it takes it away. Barbershops and hair salons, same thing. So be clear, if you own a barbershop in Gaston County, or a hair salon, or a nail salon, or anything else, actually, if you own any damn thing in Gaston County, whatever Tracy Philbeck just told you, ignore it. Because if you get a ticket and they snatch your license, nothing he can do is going to bring it back. Okay, so what else? He commented that, I was talking to somebody and I was talking to a business owner, and the business owner, asked him, well, Commissioner, what should we do? And his answer was, you should do the right thing. The governor says we're closed. We want to be open. What should we do? And his answer is, you should do the right thing. What is this, haiku? No. Answer the damn question. None of us like Governor Cooper's order right now. Let's be clear on that. I can't stand it. I mean, I cannot wait for it to be changed. But giving advice to a business owner like, you should just do the right thing, grasshopper. It's not advice. What you should say as a responsible individual is, well, you can do what you want, but be aware that if you open, you risk going to jail. And that's crappy, but it's true. So if you're closed, if your business is closed by executive order, it's still closed by executive order, even in Gaston County, regardless of what they put up on a website that they admitted is not a legal document. So he says throughout the video that we, being the Board of Commissioners, are going to support local businesses. The entire purpose of this is to support local businesses. How? How? I never heard one time how. In an hour and a half. How? I mean 90 minutes. How are you going to support local businesses? What are you going to do? Nothing. The phrase that was used a lot was, we're going to stand by you. All right. Here's what that looks like. Congratulations. This is me standing by you. Wait. Because you won't be able to see it because this is what your view looks like as you walked off in handcuffs. For Christ's sake, people, we're going to stand beside you. No, you're not. If you're going to stand beside him, you're going to go stand beside the first guy that gets arrested for following your advice. And I hope you man up and do that, because you need to. You need to go find what jail he's in and sit your butt down right beside him and be like, hey, bro, I'm sorry, but I'll stand by you. Can we get some Kool-Aid in here? That's what you're going to need to do, because somebody's going to be in jail because of what you just did. Now, let me see. What about businesses that open up and have certain employees that don't return to work? That was a question somebody asked. So we're in the county, but let's say we open our business back up, or my boss opens their business back up, and I'm an at-risk patient. Let's say I'm 55 and have asthma, or I'm 55 and have had a pneumonia recently. I don't want to go back to work. I'm at risk. What does his plan do for that? Nothing. North Carolina's an at-work state. Your employer can fire you. Ta-da! There's the answer. So if a Gaston County business does open up tomorrow, they're faced with the question of, how do I handle employees that don't want to come to work? I don't know. Guess what? That board's not qualified to answer that question. By the way, neither is my board. So he does keep saying that you can do these things. You can open your businesses as long as you follow social distancing, strict sanitation, and proper hygiene. Because that's his words. I'm quoting here. That's exactly what's in the governor's order. End quote. His words. No, it's not. The governor's order is pretty clear. I know, because I read them all. And most of the people out here read them all. In fact, all the news media read them all. And they were there for when they were spit out on television, just like I was. They're all pretty clear. If the governor's order says you're closed, you're closed. If the governor's order does not say you're closed unless you follow social distancing and proper hygiene and proper sanitation. No, if the governor closed it, it's still legally closed. You don't have the authority to overrule that. Now, then he says, to me, the governor's orders is confusing. Really? Really? The executive orders that are just written on paper, pretty clear, are confusing to you. I don't know why they're confusing you. They're not confusing to me. They're not confusing to anyone else in the other 99 counties in this state that are following them, or the other 49 states in this country that seem to be doing them. I mean, moderately confusing, maybe. Mildly confusing, I would say. But I mean, if you don't understand, you know you have a county manager on speed dial, you can call her and ask, and she'll explain to you what they mean, because that's her job, because I guarantee you she knows. And if you don't want to call the county manager, call the county attorney, who also works for you, Commissioner. She can answer your question. Well, she or he, I'm not sure, but can answer your questions too. So there should be nothing you're confused about. And if by chance none of those know the answer to your question, the health director sure as hell does. I know, because our health director answers all my questions. So there are people whose job it is to explain this stuff to you, so it's not confusing. I don't know why it's confusing. It's not confusing to me at all. One of his comments was, when he was trying to explain to people why people should be allowed to open on their own. He says, people, he says, I keep saying people, you're a lot smarter than us, referring to his board. Well, in your case, you're right. I agree. Your average person might very well be. He makes an argument for this one. He says, the governor allows chiropractors to be open, but massage therapists can't be open. That makes no sense to me. Really? That makes no sense to you. Oh my God. I'm going to start maybe with the fact that it takes an 8-year university education to be a chiropractor. And I do not pick whatsoever on massage therapists. I've already bashed hairstylists once. I'm not getting accused of yelling at another business model. So I'm not bashing massage therapists. But let me be clear. To be a massage therapist takes about 500 hours of approved massage therapy school and an exam. That's it. Boom, you're a massage therapist. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that's what it takes. To be a chiropractor, one, you're a primary care provider. You're a doctor. You can diagnose illnesses, file insurance claims, including government plans, Medicare, Medicaid, the military, veterans. You can diagnose rare disabilities. You can You can remove patients from work, restrict them to light duty. You can expose X-rays, run radiology tests. You can run blood work. You can be an expert witness in a court trial. You can do everything an MD or DO can do. An MD or doctor can do, but you just can't write prescriptions and you can't perform surgery. That's the difference between a chiropractor and a massage therapist. You know how I learned that? I asked a damn chiropractor. Mind blown. Oh my God. Like, how do you know so much about chiropractors, Commissioner Jordan? I go to one. I called him and said, can you please tell me the difference between a chiropractor and a massage therapist? And he said, sure. And he told me, and I wrote it down. That took me, actually, I didn't even call him. I texted him during the press conference you were giving, and I got the answer that fast. See how easy that was? Not hard. Now, you know the difference between a massage therapist and a chiropractor. And I hope that explains to you why chiropractors, who are doctors, basically are allowed to be open and massage therapists are not. Again, I don't think any of them should be closed, but not now. I think we need to open the state back up. But I'm glad you now understand the distinction. He doesn't understand why counties can enact stronger restrictions than the state, but not lower the minimums. Look, I don't. That made perfect sense to me when the governor said it. The governor said, all you counties out there, because I can't possibly know how every single county is doing it. All of you counties have certain levels of how bad this is. Some are worse than others. So, since I can't know how you all are being affected right now, these are the minimum standards in my executive orders. A particular county may enact harsher requirements, but may not waive any of the requirements I have. So, for example, if the governor's order said, I don't know, and I'll make something up. Hair salons are closed. Then the county could say hair salons and fast food restaurants are closed. Makes sense? County has that authority. Counties didn't do that, but they have the authority. Because it's stronger than what the governor said. The county cannot say, I know the governor said hair salons are closed, but hair salons are allowed to be open only until 12. No. See how confusing that was? It wasn't. I got it. Every other commissioner in the entire state got it. It made perfect sense to us. I don't know why it's confusing. And then he claims that what he's doing here, what Gaston County has done, again, I'm a direct quote, that this entire policy, actually, what I'm doing is really in line with the governor's orders. No, it's not. I know it's not, because the governor's office literally gave a 1-paragraph response to your opening going, that's a bad idea, please don't listen to it, you can go to jail. And so I asked on his live stream, I was like, well, what are you going to do? So here, I don't want to make this a long video, but I'm just not sure how to unscrew this sheer amount of screwed up this entire conversation is without spending some time delving into actual issues. So number one, let's go back and recap. Gaston County's order doesn't mean shit for anyone. Doesn't change a damn thing. And if you open up when you're not supposed to open up, you do risk being fined. You do risk being arrested. You do risk whatever the penalty was before Gaston County wrote this worthless piece of paper. Okay? That hasn't changed. Now, let's say Gaston County did enact this. It actually has some teeth. And they were willing to put their money where their mouth is and actually not try to backpedal their way out of this, but actually stood up for what they say they're standing up for. And here's what that would mean. If you're in Gaston County, which is the unincorporated area, like out in the country somewhere, you can open. What if you're in the municipality of Gastonia? Oh, no. That's a whole different set of laws. That's up to Gastonia to decide. I'm sure Gastonia really appreciates you doing that to them, because now you've confused the shit out of them. Because now you put them on under pressure. Can barbershops in Gastonia open up? No. But how about barbershops in Gaston County? Yes. But what does the governor say? No. But can we? Yes. But if we live in Gastonia? No. But in the county? Yes. You sure? No. I mean, that's the law. That's the actual resolution that you wrote. My God, if I ever draft a resolution that poorly written, I hope to God my people, run me out of the county on rails. Just fire me that day, have the board vote me out, I'm done. In order to make this work, to make it actually have teeth, I'll use Stanley County. By the way, he said Stanley County and Union County are following his lead. No, the hell we're not. Union County, by the way, has already backed out. They were actually considering following your lead. One of our commissioners, and I know who it is, happens to be a friend of yours, and he told you Stanley County was talking about it. And have we talked about it? Sure. Are we currently considering following your lead? Hell no, not after the debacle you just made trying to put it on television. Oh my God. I'm waiting for the dust to settle and the smoke cloud to go away, because you just dropped a bomb on Gaston County, dude. But if we did want to make this work in our county, what would we have to do? We'd have to get the Department of Health on board, because the health director during a state of emergency has a tremendously higher amount of power than normal. So he outranks a lot of people, including our Board of Commissioners. You'd also have to get the Emergency Services Director, or the Emergency Management Director, Brian Simpson, to come on board, because he also outranks a lot of people because we happen to be in a state of emergency. And you'd have to get the High Sheriff, Jeff Crisco, on board, and the whole Sheriff's Department. But again, that's just the county. You're forgetting all the municipalities. We also got to get Albemarle PD, Locust PD, and every other, Baden, Oakboro, Stanfield, Richfield, and all their police departments and all their city councils and all their law enforcement and all their governing agencies to agree that what we're going to do is give the finger to the governor and not enforce any of his laws. Why we have to get all those people involved? Because what you're doing is breaking a state law. Because right now, according to the North Carolina Emergency Powers Act, the governor does have the authority to do that. Can we sue him later? Sure we can. We're probably going to. And in the future, this issue probably will be prevented from happening again. But in the meantime, what would happen? What could happen? Let me say what can happen under actual law as it exists on the books right now. North Carolina General Statute. Stop. Let me quote it. Stand by. North Carolina Governor Emergency Powers Act. There it is. Thank you. I forgot it. Sorry. My mistake. North Carolina General Statute 166A-19.30, subsection C, subsection 1 and 2. Here's what happens, or what could happen, what the governor has the authority to happen, if we tried to do this right now without planning this stuff out and really thinking about it. We decide we aren't going to, Gaston County is going to say it's okay to open a business. So a business opens up. Let's say it's a hair salon. And someone, well, if it's a hair salon, their license gets snatched like that. And they're no longer a hair salon. So if you like your hairstylist, please do not encourage them to open tomorrow in Gaston County in violation of the governor's order, because the North Carolina board will make an example out of them, I fear. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a risk that you'd have to take. So, So let's pick a different business. Movie theater. There we go. So we open up a movie theater tomorrow in Gaston County. Boom, theater's open, it's showing a movie, people start to go. Somebody's going to call the sheriff and say, hey, there's a movie theater open. And the sheriff's going to do what all North Carolina sheriffs right now are doing, probably. He's going to go, dang it, can people not make my job more difficult? Because our sheriffs and law enforcement are trying very hard to be the good guys here and not bring the hammer down on people just because the law says so. But again, let me find the, oh yeah, yeah. But because of what this commissioner said, when directly asked this question, law enforcement is going to do what law enforcement does. But what does enforcement mean? I'm sorry. Enforcement means you enforce the law. So if you put the sheriff of Gaston County in the bad position of being required to go arrest someone for opening a movie theater in direct violation of North Carolina's executive orders saying you can't do that, then maybe that sheriff says, I'm not going to follow that order. I'm not going to arrest that person. Well, I mean, personally, on a moral standing, I support the sheriff. The governor, under 166-19.30, subsection C, subsection 1 and 2, can then go, oh yeah? Hey, sheriff, you're suspended. He can put in someone with all the rights and responsibilities of a county sheriff who will report only to him, but who will spend your county's tax dollars, by the way, and he will enforce the laws that are written on the books, including the ones maybe about shutting down that theater. Now, is that something I want to see happen? Hell no. But is it something that could happen? Absolutely. How do I know? Because we bothered to write it into North Carolina general statute, so it's there. People already voted for this to be a law in this state. It is on the books. It's not even new. Okay? It's part of the North Carolina Governor's Emergency Powers Act. Is it a crappy one? I think it is. But it's one that Roy Cooper has in his toolbox. And if you flex your muscle like this and threaten him and piss directly in his governor bowl of Cheerios, you're asking him to come out and bitch slap you down to make a point before someone else stands up to face the wrath of the governor and make him look bad. In the governor's shoes, I would not like to, that's just a bad spot to be. I'm so glad that A, I'm not in that commissioner's shoes, and B, I'm not in the governor's shoes. Because you literally threw down the gauntlet at the governor. What are you, stupid? Why would you do that? There are ways to handle this. In fact, we as counties have been trying to handle it. Gaston and Lincoln and us and other people have been writing the governor. We wrote Carl Ford and Wayne Sasser and our other district rep, whose name I can't remember. We talked with them. They've encouraged us to write letters. We've written letters. They've sent letters. They've even sent letters to us to send to the governor that we have sent. We're doing stuff the political way. Not that I agree the political way is necessarily the right way, but it's the way it's got to get done. Because the other way foments open civil disobedience. And that's okay when it's the civilian population doing it, but this is government directly breaking the law, which sets a horrible precedent. Because, and again, I can't believe I have to be the mature person in the freaking room, but when we get elected to government, it's our job to follow the law and then show people how to work within it. It is not our job to openly try to break it. I mean, it's just He was asked by whoever that was sitting on the table beside him, aren't you worried about people flooding in from other areas? Like, for example, if Gaston County opens tomorrow, Thursday, April 30th, woohoo, they're open. You can go get a haircut and a nail salon. Aren't you worried about people from other counties flooding in? And he says no, because he's certain that people are capable of enacting best practices and following social distancing guidelines. I'm sorry. Have you been to Walmart or anywhere? People are not going to do that. I'm not sure. And again, individuals, I've said this before, and this may make somebody mad, but please understand, humans have a herd mentality. Individuals are smart. You and me and so may be smart. This guy may be smart, that guy may be smart. But when you mob them up, you call them people are effing idiots, and people are stupid. When people get into a crowd, they do stupid shit, which is how we have peaceful protests that turn into riots, because people think, but crowds don't. And so, no, people are not going to enact good social distancing policies and perfect hygiene and great sanitation if you open Gaston County up. People are going to come to your county from my county and every other county. And am I going to try and stop them? Hell no, because I'm not the one that opened the door. These people have been starving for attention, for something to do, out of sheer boredom, for work. So they're going to flood the hell out of your county. You can absolutely guarantee it. And a lot of businesses that will try to enact social distancing policies will be overshadowed in the news by all the businesses that don't. When John Boy's Inbred Vape Shop decides to open up to sell CBD oil and has 37 people cramming his 500 square foot little joint just selling hookahs as fast as he freaking can, that's going to be the one to make the news. Little Maud's bread store on the corner of 5th and Nowhere that is enacting good policies and allowing one person to come in at a time while she calmly processes their transactions and lets them go out the door is not going to make the news. There's going to be enough stupid people that the good stuff is going to get lost. How do I know? Because reality. Because I watch the news. So people as a whole, as a mob, are wholly unable, in my professional opinion, to act like responsible adults. We know it. We see it every single day. The Vice President of the United States, is the head of the coronavirus task force, yet somehow seems incapable of putting on a stupid face mask to go out in public. In fact, so much to the point that he's on national effing news today, all over the place, going, Pence won't wear a face mask. Here's a picture of Pence standing in front of a COVID patient in a hospital, surrounded by doctors and patients wearing masks. Is his dumbass wearing one? Nope. Why? Well, because he's the VP. Yeah, well, he's also supposed to be representing what America is supposed to be doing. Good job, moron. Put a mask on, you idiot. Jesus Christ, why am I the only smart one in the room? God, I'm tired of dealing with stupid people. So, what about churches? He asked that one. He says, churches, quote, churches can go have church as long as they practice social distancing. What's the other thing? Social distancing, good hygiene, and strict sanitation policies. His quote, churches can go have church as long, he just told churches to open up. And then again, all of this, he says, I'm saying this as a commissioner. I'll stand beside you. No offense at all, dude, but no, you're not. You're not going to stand beside anybody. You might stand in front of a podium in a couple of days and apologize for getting so many people in so much trouble. I hope the governor, and I don't even like the governor. Again, I'm a conservative Republican. Governor Cooper's a Democrat. So there's never going to be confusion that I voted for or endorsed Governor Cooper. However, and I'm actively trying to get him to not do what he's doing and open the state back up. And in many ways, I know how. But directly whipping it out and pissing in his Cheerios is not the way to do that. That's what you just did. So no, you're not really going to stand beside people. Let me see. Then he said, okay, so Gaston County, all other orders that have been written since this pandemic have started are now voided. He says so. He's 2 sentences in a row. He says this new order takes precedence over all other orders. That was at 4:54 p.m. in his speech. And then he says the governor's order supersedes that plan. Which is it? 2 sentences in a row. This new order takes precedence over all other orders. Period. The governor's order supersedes that plan. And you said before that if people call you confusing, it's fake news? Dude. So he says social distancing is good and sanitation is good and hygiene is good. And if we follow these steps, we're basically doing what the governor said. So we should be able to open up. So it's his advice that we should be able to open up. Therefore, now, at his word, his county can open up. And he said, somebody told me, hey, Tracy, you're not a doctor. What gives you the right to make that assumption? And his response was, well, neither is the governor. That's your response. The governor's not a doctor? I will agree with you that Roy Cooper's not a doctor. I will firmly agree that's absolutely correct. However, unlike you, sir, he's been elbow to elbow with Dr. Mandy Cohen, who is an internist physician, who graduated Yale, who is the head of DHHS, and has a master's in public health from Harvard. The woman graduated Yale and Harvard. I don't have to like her to respect her. But she's at his shoulder every 10 minutes. Literally, he picks up the phone and goes, Dr. Cohen, I have a question. In fact, he probably says, hey, Mandy, I got a question. Can you come in here, please? And boom, she shows up. Why? Because he's the governor, and that's her job. So yeah, not a doctor, but he literally has one minutes from him, and I guarantee you who answers the call every single time. Answers the phone every single time his office calls. So while I agree he's not a doctor, he does have the direct input of a lady who has 17,000 medical personnel working under her in a $20 billion state budget. So I guess maybe we should assume the medical advice he's getting is more qualified than medical advice that we're getting, or that you, sir, are getting. I have my health director, and my health director, if I call him, he looks to Patricia because she's a nurse and she's in the field, and if neither of them know, they go, hold on, Commissioner, and they call the state and they ask Dr. Cohen and her staff. So these people have people that do this stuff for a living, okay? You don't. I don't. They do. Again, I'm not saying the governor's right. I'm just saying you're wrong. Do you fear confusion between state, municipal, and county guidelines? And he says, I think it's all confusing. If you're that confused, sir, you should step the hell down, because it's not that confusing. It was not that confusing until 10 a.m. this morning when you made it confusing, and then 4 o'clock when you further made it confusing, and now I bet the news cycle cannot wait to get their hands on you. Oh my God. So, you just commented, you had the governor on speed dial. You said, I called the governor. I have his cell phone number. You said this. I have his cell phone number on speed dial. I called the governor. If it's so confusing, you can call the governor. Hell, I can't even do that. I do call the governor's office, and I get somebody almost every time. And if I don't, I call back within 5 minutes and my questions are answered. So I don't know why this stuff thus far is confusing until you confused it. And lastly, he did make an effort to quantify this statement. Pardon me while I'm trying to get my mouse to work here. Okay, he did make an effort to quantify this statement and say that he's trying not to equate these two things as the same thing. So I'm going to give him credit there. But he made the comparison to civil rights and how if we didn't have protests and people didn't speak up, things would never change. So his argument is if people don't speak up and do things, things don't change. Therefore, I'm speaking up because I want to help you and I want to enact change, which I do applaud. But, bro, I think that analogy needs some work, because you used Rosa Parks as an example, if I'm not mistaken, civil rights. She got on the bus and refused to give up a seat. She put herself in a position of vulnerability and got attacked for it, whatever. She took the risk, is my point. People that speak up and protest are taking the risk themselves. You're not taking any risk. In fact, you're literally standing behind them going, I got your back, don't worry. If you have a problem, I'll support you. Meanwhile, can I get my nails did? You're telling people that you're going to stand beside them, but you're telling them to go take the risk. You're literally telling them, go open your businesses. I got your back. Don't worry. Bullshit. I don't know how else to say it. You're not taking any risk, but people of Gaston County are taking a risk, taking a big risk if they follow your advice. This is not standing up for people. You are asking other people to stand up for you. Are you kidding me? No. Sorry, dude. I'm done with that comparison alone. I am done. If you think this is you standing up for people, you are taking zero personal risk, none, with the possible exception that you don't get reelected. Big deal. Our jobs don't pay that much. I know what it pays. I'm one too. I am a county commissioner. It doesn't pay that much. If I lost it, wouldn't hurt my feelings at all financially. So we don't do this job for the money. So losing the money is not really going to hurt us. So you got no risk, except people like me doing videos like this. But I've been the butt of these videos more times than I've done them, so I'm used to it. I have a thick skin. Please don't assume that you're standing up for people. That is a horrible misconception. You are asking other people to stand up for your beliefs, and you're asking other people to risk their businesses and their income and their health on your beliefs. That's a bullshit proposition. And I don't mind saying so. Who's here? Nobody. Okay. I hear my dogs barking. So, in closing, the Gaston County law doesn't mean a damn thing. It's total, it's not worth the paper it's written on. It's total crap. It means nothing. It changes nothing. It affects no one. But if you follow it, you could get in trouble. I hope those things are clear. Do I want the governor's laws to change? Abso-freaking-lutely. But we need to have a plan. And by a plan, how we have a plan? Let me tell you how we have a plan. We are talking about having a plan. But even talking about having a plan is going to take a plan because Stanley County. So what happens if Stanley County wants to do this? Well, our board, me and Matt and Bill and Zach and Ashley and Mike and Lane have all got to get together and talk. Problem is, we can't talk unless we talk in groups of 3 or less because of public meeting laws. So we can't even have a conversation unless we have it. I call 2 people, then I hang up and call 2 more people, then I hang up and call 2 more people. That's how we have a conversation. And then they play this game. So it takes us a week to do something that we could do in 30 minutes if we were allowed to be in a room together. But we can't be in a room together because we can't be in a room together unless we let the public know in advance and invite the press and tell people. So it really makes doing our job freaking inefficient as hell, especially in a time like this. But supposing we do all that, then we got to get David Jenkins, the health director, Danny Barnum, the fire marshal, Jeff Crisco and Ashley, the sheriff and his chief deputy, Brian Simpson, the emergency management director, Andy Lucas, the county manager, plus Jennifer, our county attorney, plus Tyler, our board clerk, plus all the fire departments, all the police departments and all the municipalities, plus all the councils from the municipalities. And all of us have to come together and agree on a plan that we would choose to implement and what steps we would do what steps we'd follow in what order. That's how we would have to plan it. There's probably 150 people that need to get together in a room to plan this thing. Have you ever seen 150 people do anything effectively? No, it would take forever. It would take months, especially with current public meeting laws the way they are, because the town council is not allowed to even meet just because they want to. They got to put a notice in the newspaper. So do we. Stupid, but it's laws that we can't get around. So we can't even meet and have good conversations. It's not legal. We can't actually do it. So, yeah, it's going to take some time. If we were to have a plan, we would need to get that plan together, be sure all the municipalities and the counties are on board with it. Then we write the governor or call the governor, and say, hey, governor, we respectfully request this. Here's our plan. Here's how we're going to handle it. Here's how we're going to handle openings, closings, blah, 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 blah. We want you to let us control our own fate. And then if the governor says no, we would have the option at that point to literally break North Carolina law and go out on our own and face the consequences. That's how it would have to go. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making it up, and I'm not I'm not telling you this to scare you. That's the truth. That's how it would have to happen. You can't just decide, we're not going to do this anymore. Screw it. What if we did decide? If we decided ourselves, you guys forget, if Stanley County decides, that means nothing for Albemarle. They have to decide on their own. So does Oakboro. So does Stanfield. So does Locust. So does Meisenheimer. So does Richfield. All of them have got to decide for themselves. What if they all decide different things? What if Albemarle says, open up, and Locust says, no? Now we're real confused. You can go shop at Albemarle, but you can't go shop in Locust. But you can shop right outside Locust as long as you're in the county. But yes, in Stanfield, no in Oakboro, maybe in Meisenheimer, only on Fridays in Richfield, and nothing in New London. Oh my God. That's what you want Stanley County government to do for you? That's the hurdle that we face as commissioners, is trying to figure out how to do that. So it's horrible. It sucks. What will make a lot more sense is to get the governor to walk this back, change his mind, and force him to let the counties open up all at once. If that's the goal you want, that's how we do it. I'm not saying it's the goal we should have. It is the way I'm personally leaning. It doesn't mean I speak for everyone. I'm just saying I think it is time that no matter what, we start to open things back up, because if we don't, we will economically starve to death. 1 in 3 businesses in this state are already gone forever. They're never coming back. That means you know someone who's lost their business. forever. I mean, lost their everything they've worked their whole effing life for. My wife has worked for 13, let me see, 8, 10, 27 years of education and working to build the business she's got. Can you imagine how we'd feel if she lost it? 27 years of her life. She's only 43 years old. Don't tell her I said that. I just told her age. She's going to kill me now. But, I mean, wow. That's a long time, bro. Okay? I mean, since the moment she got out of high school, 27 years she's been working to build this business. And luckily, hers is not closed. But it could be one of these victims. It could be a hair salon. Somebody who scrimped and saved for 15 years and finally got a building, and now they have no tenants because their stylist can't work and they've lost it. They're losing their business. I have a very good friend who owns a salon in just that situation. It breaks my damn heart. I can't do a thing about it because she's an awesome lady, one of the coolest people I've met in the whole world. I got nothing to help her. I can't. I don't know what to do but watch her business fail. And every day it's closed is another day closer to it never being open again. I don't know what to do, people. None of us have the right answer, but we're trying the best we can. But dumb shit like what's coming out of Gaston County right now is not the answer. And I cannot believe he threw us under the bus instead. Stanley County was going to follow his lead. I will not speak for my board because I'm just not going to do that. But I can say there have not been any serious phone calls about planning that. Have we talked? We have talked. We have talked amongst each other about this. And what we agreed was, hey, let's wait and see what happened in Gaston County this afternoon. And now that we've seen it, holy crap, what a cluster that was. So, yeah, not likely to happen in Stanley County tomorrow. We are going to try to plan what we can. But this Gaston County crap, that was a mistake. It was poorly executed. It was even more poorly pulled off. And in my opinion, it was a failure to govern. Let me be clear on that. You were elected to lead the county. Normally, you're elected to just vote on stuff. Let's be honest. We all took this job for the same reason soldiers. No, that's not true. I don't want to equivocate the two. But there's a certain comparison that I can make here, and I hope you'll allow me to levy the reach to do that, okay? Soldiers join the military to serve their country. They don't join the military to die, but they know it's an option when they sign up. Commissioners sign up to vote on taxes, vote on what business can and can't be open, and vote on and shaping the future of the country through financial votes. That's what we do. We vote. That's all we do. We vote on stuff, okay? None of us signed up to lead our county through a pandemic. But now we know it's part of the job if you're called on to do it. So we're doing the best that we can. None of us, there isn't a playbook for this. There's not. We didn't have a book for what to do in case the governor shuts down the county for a month and a half. We have a lot of books that our attorney can give us access to and go, hey, Commissioner, here's how you handle this. That's not one of them, okay? We're working as hard as we can. We're trying our best to influence the governor to do what he needs to do, what we think he needs to do. We know you are too. In my opinion, if you want to do something proactive, write the governor, email the governor, call the governor. That's all I can tell you to do because that's what we're doing. And we're planning as hard as we possibly can. This video is long. For those of you that bore through it, thank you. I'm too tired to do it again. So it's going to get posted just like it is. Screw ups and all. Sorry about that. That's it, guys. Gaston County, I don't know what you were thinking. I'm just curious if there's going to be like an official resignation forthcoming sometime in the near future. Because, wow, what a mistake and what a mess up and a horribly, horribly planned execution of bullshit that resolution was. And no, please don't say Stanley County is following in your footsteps. I know which commissioner might have told you that. It's not true. we might enact something of our own, maybe, but it sure as hell will not be what Gaston County just did, because that's crap. And to the people that live in Gaston County, I'm so sorry. My advice is until some higher authority tells you different, follow what the governor says. Because it sucks that you're closed right now, but I'd rather see you closed than in jail or arrested or fined when you can't afford to be fined right now. Nobody can. Bear with us. We're all trying to do the best that we can. That's it. It's Tommy. I'm out.